Talk Shoe.
Recorded live.
Oh, really? Yeah, I wasn't ready for that at all. Recorded live. Davenport here with Sutphin on Alternative Public Radio International, coming to you live from Alternative Radio Public International and TalkShoe.com. As usual, until the main station goes back up, which should not be too much longer, I hope. I'm getting tired of waiting. I did a video today on Facebook for the website. I decided that it was time to do a video and put it on the front page of the website so it would capture people's attention and hopefully hold their short span attention for at least 10 minutes, where I could explain what we are all about, what we do, where we are, what some of our projects and programs and special events and missions are. That page is pretty dead over there. It looks dead. I don't know. It's just not what I want. Glenn's got a much better page than we do. When it comes to bling bling and when it comes to capturing people's attention and holding their attention, it damn sure held mine. But I put the video on there so people could hear me talk about what we are, who we are, where we are, what we do, thinking that that might help to bring people on into the network. It's hard to capture people's attention. You know that for a fact, Glenn, right?
Yeah. Getting their attention is the main thing, and then keeping their attention is, part of the other game. And, don't be too hard on yourself, but, I don't really know what to say about it because I'm kind of down today. So
I'm really down today. I'm just numb today. I'm like, all the saber rattling that's going on, I don't even really want to talk about tonight, but North Korea and Syria and China and Russia and the United States, and there's still the Pedogate thing going on and Pizzagate thing and this and that and the other and blah blah blah. I'm getting the same old posts shuffled around in I guess I'm becoming a Facebook addictologist or something, because I'm noticing now I'm starting to understand the algorithm so well that I can see how everything works on Facebook now. I mean, I know all of my people. I know who's doing what, where, when, who's going to post what, when, where. I know when the same old posts are coming up, being shuffled around from me to you to this to that to the other, and it makes me wonder. We've got a little circle of about 35 friends that we work with. You and I. You may work with more, I don't know, but in our case, in our circle, we've got about 35, 45, 55, maybe 75 people that we work with, shuffling posts back and forth to each other. And I think to myself, what fucking good is this doing for anyone at all? And I know in my heart it's doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the only thing that helps me is to think, well, maybe somebody might see something and they might get help somehow from something that was said, or some post about cancerous tumors and turmeric, or some vitamin that might help something they have or something. But what's the big deal?
Yeah, I see where you're at, mate, because I'm close to that or myself. It's like same people posting the same shit. You know what they're going to post, and it's like, why do I even bother? Because that Jimmy Sue's going to post this, and Johnny's going to post that, and it's going to be the same thing. And it seems like you're in a hole in a rut right now, and that's just, there's nothing going on. That's why they're, like you said, it's the same thing, saber rattling. They're posturing all over the planet, and this one stands up and puffs up his chest, and this one deflates and goes back down, and in that cycle that we're in.
Yeah. I know. It's just ridiculous.
We're preaching a bucket right now.
I think we're at a impasse is where we are. I think we're at an impasse. I want to reach out to Donnie Gilson tonight. And Donnie, if you're listening, I want to say that we are thinking about you with all of our hearts and minds and souls and spirits, if we have those last two. I know what you're going through. I know you are a targeted individual. I know how long you were on the planet as a producer, host. I know how long you were an investigative reporter, investigative journalist. I know how long you have been with us. I know what you have done and who you have interviewed. And I know that you've had everything stripped away from you, everything, including your 2 boats and one you were living on. I know that you're homeless. I know that you're sitting there where your father and you used to talk about the mafia and the New World Order in your secret place, getting ready to head back to your home base to try to reconnect with your family. And I want to say we are thinking about you and your situation. And if people do not believe that you are a targeted individual, they are nuts. If there ever was a targeted individual, you are a targeted individual. I have seen the videos of the sheriff. I have seen the videos of the constables taking all of your shit away from you, running you off of your boat, out of your marina. I know that you went to the mental institution and we got you out. I know that they locked your ass up twice, 3 times, came out of nowhere, you sitting on a park bench looking out over the ocean. Next thing you know, you're in a squad car going to a mental institution, being injected with God knows what. You know, I just want to tell everybody out there, hey, it could happen to you. Don't make fun. It could happen to you.
Yeah, you know, they sit outside of my house. I mean, like we were discussing before, I don't consider myself targeted, but at times I am targeted because of what I put out there and what I dig up and stuff. And you know, I can imagine it happening on a full-time basis to people just based on how much they do to me. So, I mean, they can ruin your life, you know. And it's been a heartbeat too. You know, you'd be sitting there, like you said, just sitting there on a bench watching the ocean, and the next thing you know, boom, you're in behind bars for whatever, and going through torture for just being a human. And it's that's one of the things I fight against. You know, why I fight so hard is because just the limited stuff they've done to me is like, you know, horrendous. And I can imagine if they're doing something to somebody full time, it's like gone. Yeah. You know, I feel for these people, but then on the same token, you have the people that are always, I'm a targeted individual because the wind blew wrong and I heard voices, and you know, you got both sides of the extreme on that you have people that are actually going through it that you're like, you want to help, but then you got the nut cases that you got to choose between. You know, somebody might say they're targeted, and you spend some time with them and see nothing, and then other people that don't say they're targeted, and they're always catching all this fucking hell.
Donnie really didn't start out saying he was targeted. He was on a video the other night with us on air. Well, I say the other night, it's been a while back. And he was being watched from every corner. He was in his old neighborhood, and he was being watched from every corner. Strange things were happening. It just gave me an eerie feeling, man, just an eerie feeling. And he was on foot. I think he was taking buses wherever he was going, and he was being followed, gang-stalked, and they chose him to try to drive him knucking futs as some kind of weird, kinky experiment. He has exposed a lot of shit over his decade of radio broadcasting on 32 Degrees of Insanity, and I wish he would go back to 32 Degrees of Insanity. I'm hoping he can get his life straightened out and come back to radio where he belongs. And but you know, they can drive you over the edge where you never want to come back, and that's where he, I think, is right now. I think he's to the point where he just wants to get his life together and get out. I say get out. It sounds like you're getting out of the mafia or something, but I just
well, you never really get out, but yeah, they lessen the degrees they fuck with you, and you know,
yeah.
Some people that's they'll release, and other people it's a way of copping out. I mean, you like I said, you got two extremes on everything, and
I mean,
I can see them wanting.
Our last interview that we did was with the transcriptionist from the Vatican, one of the highest transcriptionists from the Vatican, who was exposing secrets in the Vatican, and that's when all this shit started going down.
Yeah, you pissed off the power structure, and well, yeah, that's what it all comes down.
One of the closest people to the Pope is who we were interviewing.
Yep. That'll do it. I don't trust the Vatican for anything, so.
Oh, I don't either. They have their own secret police. They have their own city. They have their own ambulance service, their own fire department, their own secret service. One of the most powerful places on earth is right there at Vatican City. It's amazing the power they wield. It's amazing the power they wield. It's beyond human comprehension. And just so many clueless people out here that just have no idea of the things that you and I know. And big deal. So we know these things. So what? But I think it's kind of cool that we know these things, these tidbits of information that we hold. These bits of information that we've researched and dug up. I think it is interesting. It is powerful that we know these things. The problem is there's so many know-it-alls on Facebook. You can't tell anybody anything without them knowing more than you do.
Or knowing somebody that knows something or claims that they know something. And I mean, I get constantly, you'll be on a subject and automatically, oh, my friend's father's cousin knew that person. It's like,
you know what?
They do.
I had to leave the atheist group that I was in. I like to be over there because I like some of their discussions, but they got violent with me, man. They attacked me from every possible angle when I posted that post about the secret training camps for the terrorists here in the United States, and I verified. Well, I didn't verify it first. I just posted that one post that came out of a Christian source, news source, and they came down on me like stink on shit. I mean, they came down. They laid the hammer down on me. I mean, there was like 50 posts laying the hammer down on me. And there's no secret training camps in the United States. You're full of shit. You're an idiot. You're an asshole. You're on drugs. You need to take your medications. You need to crawl back in your fucking cave. You fake news son of a bitch. And so I went to Google and hit them with bam, 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 proof that there are secret training camps in the United States. And then I left the group.
Yeah.
But anybody that thinks there's not secret training camps for terrorists in the United States, they're idiots. They're just complete idiots.
Yeah. I mean, got one in Virginia.
There's 35 that I know of.
Yeah, one of the main ones is in Virginia. So,
Yeah.
And Maryland's a sanctuary state, so
Yeah.
You know, it's like they do that. I've had that happen to me a couple times where they en masse attack you, and it's hard when a group of idiots get together to come after you.
Oh yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
You got to fight millions of years of them being an idiot, you know, and it doesn't matter how much. You could have Jesus come down and say it was that way, and they will rebel against it and, you know, tell you that you're wrong and everything else, and get more mass idiots to attack you. And yeah, I'm very familiar with that route.
It was a lynch mob. It was a total lynch mob.
And they do that. They do that to everybody because that's the way they control the narrative. Is they got all these useful idiots that'll attack you. Oh, we got 10 million idiots that'll attack you, and it doesn't matter if, you know, you post up there an all black screen and they'll swear it's white. You know, and you can't convince them for shit. And those are the people that I say you just gotta, you know, unfortunately you gotta tolerate them.
But you gotta get away from them.
Tolerate them, and it's like, fuck, man, they're all over the place, and you're not getting rid of them, and they do use that as a demoralizing tool also to make you go, I don't ever want to do this again, and it works because people go off the internet and go off the Fed book, and you know, well, I'm not going to go back on there if all I'm going to do is be attacked, and you may have the holy grail of fucking news, but it's gone because people don't want to deal with bullshit, and it's a very effective tool to stop the truth. It's you know, nobody will listen to the truth if nobody hears, you know.
Well, I think my first mistake was posting a Christian source on that particular issue in an atheist group.
Yes, I would put that up amongst the.
And I didn't know it was a Christian source. I didn't read the fine print, so they did. So that's what happened.
Some of them will crucify it, not on the content, but just because of where it's from.
Of course. That's the reason.
You know, and you're like, oh, I'm getting all this shit. It's like that. But like I said, it's still an effective tool because, you know, those that aren't as thick-skinned as us will go, oh, fuck this shit. I'm never going there again. I'm not doing any of that anymore. And, you know, the end of you're witnessing next, you know.
Well, I will admit after 50 posts or 60 posts against me, I was ready to go. There was no way I was going to hang around there. There's no way I was going to hang around. There was no reason to hang around there. There's no reason to fight for myself there. There was no reason to try to right that wrong. I just needed to leave that atheist group.
Yeah. There's just some of them that is like there ain't no winning. The only way to win is just walk away.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You're not going to convince them. You're not going to do anything but get beat up, and they're just time that, hey, I like my wounds and walk off. Learn my lesson from that one. I've done it. I'm speaking from experience. I've been there. It's just like there's just some groups that like, no, I don't care if they have a million posts that are the truth. Just from that one incident, forget it. You know,
how is your equipment gathering going, and you're setting up your system and everything?
Is it right? Today I haven't done too much because I had a seizure this morning, so I'm that's one of the reasons I'm kind of down today, is because I'm not feeling all that great. So the Facebook Live, there is something wrong with the FedBook algorithm. My computer will not push correctly through to do the live. So there's not really anything I can do. I'm going to have to read the manual and go dig in and see if I have all the settings correct. And, some people, they push a button and it's instantaneous and great. Others, like me, I push the button and I get nothing but crap. And, that's just the nature of the beast. I can record to my editing deck, so I can still do shows, but I can't do them live. for right now until I figure out the.
Well, you don't have to do them live. You don't have to do.
I mean, I'm to the point. Hey, I can do what I normally do. I record it to the deck. I can edit it and then put it up there, and it won't be. It'll be live, but it won't be as it happens. It'll be pre-recorded,
post production.
So I can do that. I can do all the post production and everything. So I'm going because I was looking forward to doing it live, but I can still do production. It's just that I don't. The live part is just the issue right now, and it's between my machine and because FedBook doesn't want to work, and it's like I can see the coolness of having it live, but I can't have it live, so it's like, okay, I can record it so I can still do something. So we're in that learning phase of, well, I guess we're just going to do it, tape it, and then put it out there. So a couple more days setback, but definitely still moving ahead. And I'm the one that's like, I'm doing what I can while I can, and when I can. It's people are just, oh, why don't you do this? Oh, what? Well, why don't you give me the equipment that works and does that shit, and then I'll do that. Right now, I'm doing what I can, and
of course.
Oh, well, we want you to be live. Yeah, well, I want to be live too, but I shit one hand and wish in the other, which gets filled up first, and not just do what I can, and everybody. Oh, well, if you would just buy this program, yeah, well, it costs fiat currency that I do not have.
Right.
I'm doing what I have with what I've got, and people just have to accept it that I'm doing real good with what I got. And, if I had more, I could do more, and that's I'm not the one that I can't do anything because I can't. I'm doing what I can while I can with what I've got, and as I get more, I'll do more.
I don't hang out on your page very much because I share everything you put up. I'm always there for you every time you put something up. That
is more of a help than being on my page all the time. I mean,
I just I haven't looked at your page that much. I need to go and kind of scan your page and kind of see what's going on and see what the interactions are and who's talking to who and what and when and where. I mean, that'd be
if you can get on, because a lot of times you can't get on my page, and the only way you get it is through people like you that are sharing everything I post. Because
Which I do.
They do lock my page up, and then you can't get to it, and then people get frustrated and go, I ain't going to your page anymore, and it's like, well, that hurts too, because, then you stop sharing my stuff, and then the algorithm kicks in, and then you don't get my stuff, and so it's a big dynamic.
I'm on a tear, man. I'm on a tear, and it's making the numbers just fly up. I mean, I'm on a tear, man. Every time I see somebody pop something up on the left lower side of my screen, baby, I share it. I mean, I put the like on it, baby. I put the like on it. I don't care what it is, where it came from. I don't care what planet it's from. I like it. And if it's something that I glance at real quick in my speed reading expertise, and it looks great, I'll share it really quick, and then I'll haul ass back to that left lower column and start liking again. And it's man, it's increasing the numbers unbelievely. People are starting to
that's what you got to do. I mean, people don't understand. That's exactly what I do. I mean, I go through my list, go down about 100 articles, and refresh the page, and go down again, and just keep doing that and sharing everything. And I know that person shares good shit. Share, I know this person shares crap.
Right.
Let me take a little bit of time to look at their stuff, because they might add something good or they might not. And you get to learn people. It's like there's some people that just off the cuff, I don't care what it is, share it. There's other people that for a fact that they share shit, and you got to go through their feed and go, they might have one or two things.
I took a test, and I read 586 words per minute, so I guess that helps.
Yeah. I'm a speed reader too. I haven't taken any tests, but I can gather a lot of information just by reading a page for a few seconds. And more than the normal person can out of the whole. If they read it word for word. I mean, there are times. Plus the fact that I do so much research that somebody said, well, you didn't read the article. It's like, no, because I know what the fucking article is based on. from all the other things I've done, I pretty much know what they're going to say and can sometimes look at a headline and get the whole story. Other times the headline is so misleading that it has nothing to do with the article. So
right.
I mean, you kind of get, but it's also because I've been in the business 22 fucking years, and you get to a point where it's like, you know what's going to be shit, you know what's going to be good, you don't really need to read every article word for word, because if 15 people are putting out the same article, you already know what the fucking article says.
Oh, yeah. And you can tell, like you said earlier, we have our sources who we trust, and that's what I really love. I have my sources. Yeah. They can put something up, and within a nanosecond, I've shared it. I don't even have to look at it. I just bang, hit the like, and bang.
Jimmy Joe's stuff is gold. You can just click on. He says it, you click on it, and like it. It's guaranteed. It's like going Pam to be true.
Pam McDonald. I could just go on and on. I've got a list.
We have our lists, and I have my lists, and and it's because of years and years and years of sharing and doing this stuff, and then it also hurts you, because then all of a sudden, if the person that you're sharing becomes co-opted, and then I've had to drop a couple sources that I was constantly. It was like that. It was like anything they post, you just like, and then it kind of hurt me, because they got co-opted and started posting shit. And then you're posting it, and well, wait a minute, I always trusted Jimmy Joe to post this stuff, and it's all true, and so you get, and right now the groups are back imploding again against each other and reforming their alliances, and now you can't like Jimmy Joe because he doesn't share the right stuff. You got to go Johnny Sue, and it's like, oh fuck. And
I've gotten out of all my groups. I'm reorganizing all of my groups. I've gotten out of
I'm
95%.
Down to the part. I'm down to that part too, where it's kind of like I'm in a. Like I said, the groups are imploding. Everybody's fighting against one another, and I'm just like, I'm backing up, going, fuck it. I got work I gotta get done on maintenance, so I'm more worried about the maintenance than I am whether the groups are imploding or not, because they do it constantly. It's a cycle, because they'll implode, they'll restructure, and they'll come back, and then I go, okay, which groups am I allowed to post from, and which ones aren't I allowed to post from? That's,
I like groups where I can post directly on their wall, and I don't have to be scanned or checked or vetted or anything. I don't like to have to waste time with all that shit. So I have a few groups that I can post directly on their wall. They love me, they know me, they've been with me for a long time, and I can just post, and it goes directly to the wall. And then I still have a couple where the admin has to check it and all that shit. Wall, but
and then and now we need to go through this new algorithm that the Temple of Truth has put out by Fedbook. And Fedbook's going to tell us what the Temple of Truth says is true.
Have you heard about See Something, Say Something? Have you heard the
Oh,
latest?
that's been around. That's SAR has been around
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the brand new See Something, Say Something that Zuckerberg has just put out. I'm not talking about communism. That was as far back as McCarthy era. See Something, Say Something.
Department of Homeland Security and shit to see something, say something.
Yeah, but this is brand new for Facebook. This is breaking news for Facebook over the last 3 weeks. They're encouraging people to report fake news, which is really 1984 George Orwell.
Well, he said it was bringing in. I mean, look very closely now for the Sesame Seed code to come in. And that was from the Chinese. You'll have a card, and you're rated on who you know, how much you share, what you share, and if you share the wrong person, your code goes down, and if it goes too low, you're not allowed on the internet anymore. And it's all coming, and it's been that's from the late 80s, '90s era coming in now, and
well, I'm waiting for
part
somebody to come in and tell Zuckerberg to fuck off and start a new social media company.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen right now because Zuckerberg is the sweetheart darling of fucking Alphabet and all the rest of the Nazi soup agencies, and he's now going over to China saying, yeah, that's the kind of censorship we want. And it's like, yeah, we don't want censorship, but, hey,
it could be done.
Come in.
It could be done through pirate radio. It could be done through shareware. It could be done through freeware. It could be done if the right people got together, the right mastermind college students, grad students in computer science got together. It could be done, but nobody's done it yet. We're still waiting.
Yeah,
there is a couple out there.
Hackers. I want the hackers to get off their ass and start doing some more shit.
Well, so do I.
They've all been co-opted, and now Anonymous is basically, oh, we work for the government. Of course, most of them already did anyway, but they're now showing the face of, oh, we're government censors. We knew that, I want the ones that rebel against it, and, I'm a gray hat hacker, so.
I'm not going to say what I was.
Well, I align myself with the grays. I know white hat hackers. I know black hat hackers.
But Anonymous has really turned kind of chicken shit over the last year or two.
Because they started listening to all the ass hats and hang-ons and broke away from their core that they were doing, and that happens because after a while everything gets infiltrated and co-opted. So
I was enjoying seeing them shut down major corporations and really fuck up their computer systems.
Yeah,
they've stopped doing
what
that.
They were supposed to do. And now, like I said, they've been co-opted, and a lot of the ones that were doing that were taken out and put it. The co-opted ones were put in, and now they're another arm of the government. And like, unfortunate, but that's the way that most of them run. Is they start out as a good thing, get co-opted, and then become government. So
I liked it when they held with a purpose. They had a purpose for their shutdown. Like, we're going to do such and such and so and so. If you don't do such and such and so by this particular date, we're going to do. That's what I enjoyed watching.
Mm-hmm. Well, it kept the companies on their toes. I mean, you have this rogue group that does whatever, and the companies are, but then the corporation got together and took over the hackers, and then it all became corporified. So,
yeah, maybe they started paying them.
Yeah, a lot of them, I'm sure they paid them and
put them on the
payroll, and then, gave them what they wanted. Oh, I got fiat currency. I can get stuff now. I can get modems. Modems aren't really. But yeah, it shows my
age. Hackers are not whores. Some hackers are not whores, though.
Yeah,
some
the diehards. I mean, I know quite a few that aren't. They're just. But then those few are being outnumbered by the ass hats, and they're going underground and going, "Oh, fuck this shit again."
Well, if you'll never know a hacker, you'll never know a hacker, a true hacker. But I mean, you might say you know a couple, but you'll never know a true hacker. You'll never know a high-level hacker. Never in your lifetime will you ever know a high-level hacker. Never. It's the creed. They're more stealthy than stealth itself. Unbelievable stealth. Unbelievable stealth. The life they have to live is so intriguing. I don't know if there's been a movie yet that has captured the intrigue of a true hacker lifestyle. I know there was one recently. What was the name of it? Oh, it was the last one about hackers, but I can't remember the name of it. But it didn't even capture the true essence of, they met at a restaurant and they were They some of them held regular jobs, and they were very incognito, but not incognito enough, because one got involved in trying to find a guy's wife cheating on him, and real hackers don't do that kind of shit. What do you got going on there?
I have to show my wife how to use the other phone.
Oh, cool.
I had a phone call come in, and sorry. I was momentarily distracted because the main phone, I got a phone call on and had to go to the secondary phone, and she don't know how to use the secondary phone. So,
cool.
Doing 3 things at once there. Yeah, but no, like you said, I haven't really seen a true hacker movie for a long while, because they all show the government hacker where, what you were talking about, where the real the guy is a hacker, then all of a sudden the government catches on him because he fucks up and not as good as he thought he was, and then they start sliding some money and do this for us and do that for us, and then now you're a paid informant, and
right.
You're all part of you're now part of the system in the clique now, and I mean, I've seen a lot. I can't say I know a lot, but I've known a few that have gone that route, and then it's just like, okay, you sold out. You know, the very thing that you're fighting for, you're now working with. So, and that happens to a lot of people where they start out with good intentions, start out fighting the system, and wound up devoured by the system and part of the corporate board. So
I'm just sitting here thankful that I have a bathtub and a shower and a roof over my head and a car sitting outside and no bill collectors banging down the door. All of my bills are in check. My credit is zeroed out. I'm okay. Got a little money in the bank, and eating well. My health is fair besides the seizure I had and the other couple of things going on with my health. But, it's funny how we can be here on the air and we can be kind of cool and nonchalant when everything's going okay. And when everything's not going okay, we don't want to be on the air. We don't want to do shit but go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, I 10 minutes before showtime, that's where I was. And I woke up and freaked out. It was like, oh, my God, what time is it? Oh, my God, I got to be on air.
Yeah, I've done that 3-4 minutes before airtime before.
Yeah.
Ran in here, and she's handing me a microphone, and I'm like, what the fuck? What day is this?
I haven't. I still got 2 hours to prepare, don't I?
Yeah, really.
3, 2, and 1.
Boom. Live.
What happened to my 3 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, the only enemy I have is time. So I don't always have all the time I want or the exact time I need. But I do what I can while I can, and
I figured it
try
out.
To make the best of it.
150 married and said it put us back on air, and then we can handle the rest. Probably handle the rest. So maybe we can get up before May. It just depends on how everybody's schedule works out and how everybody's finances work out. My finances are just riding on the edge right now. I'm just on the edge of good. Nothing bad. Just on the edge.
Yeah,
there.
As long as no potholes, I'm fine.
I don't have any major potholes.
What we talked about off air, I can do.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't have any.
As long as I don't hit any potholes between now and then, I should be pretty much.
I don't have any major potholes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
The Creator has been has smiled on me fortunately for a while, so I'm not bitching. Yeah. I don't want to bitch too much I wish I had a little bit more, but I got enough, and I'm doing what I can with what I've got. So, I mean,
you and I are very rare. I tell you, we're a rare species, because a lot of the people I'm talking to on Facebook are up to their fucking ass in debt, man. 40, 50,000, 60, 75,000 in debt, and bill collectors banging.
Oh,
on
well, I'm in debt too. I mean, because all my medical and every, but I don't consider that debt because I don't pay it, and it's like it's not. They capture you that way because they get you in that mindset that you got to take care of all this non-essential bullshit, and that's the way they control your life. And it's like I'm rare because it's like I know how to budget my money with what I've got to make do with what I need to make do with, and the rest of it is bullshit because they got you so worried about it, and it's like not a thing.
I have never paid a medical bill in my entire history of life. Never. I never will. Never will, never have, never will. I've never paid a medical bill.
They've got me jacked up because every time they send you there, and then they charge you, and I had insurance, and they fucked me up and then canceled my insurance and sued me. I said, good, go ahead. You're not getting a goddamn dime. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And they sued me. And, you've been sued again. I'm like, go ahead. And then one time the person called up and they go, this is a recorded call. And I'm like, okay. I waited for the recording to start and everything. And they started their little spiel. And I said, this was back when one big ass mistake America was president. And I said, you know what? Since Obamacare is free, send my bill to fucking Obama. And the guy goes, what did you say? I said, is this being recorded? He goes, yeah. I said, since Obamacare is free, send my fucking bill to Obama. And he started laughing. He goes, okay, sir, thank you have a good day. And he hung up. It was like, ended it because he couldn't come back. He couldn't, it's like, fuck it. What are you going to do? It's like, it's all over the news. Obamacare is free. They're taking care of everything. Mm-hmm. Let him take care of it then. Mm-hmm. They want to take care of my bills? That's great. I love them. Take care of it. It doesn't work that way.
What Sandra Evelos said about signing stuff. When you sign stuff like an IRS bill, the reason people get attacked by the IRS is because they fill out the fucking IRS forms in the first place. That's your first mistake, is to sign an IRS form. As long as you don't sign one, everything's based on debt and not fiat positive currency. Everything with the IRS is based on debt. And once you figure that out and once you let them know that you know that, they stop fucking with you. Yeah. But once you keep signing their forms, you're putting yourself under contract with them as to pay that debt, which is a forfeiture, which is actually illegal. And I got to looking into her research, and damn, it's interesting. Very, very interesting. It's kind of like the fact that you don't need a driver's license to travel, You need a driver's license to drive, but you don't need a driver's license to travel from one place to the other in your personal life. And I keep saying, you got to prove it. You got to prove.
Yeah, they got you because they mistake travel for driver, and most of the American people are travelers, not drivers.
Right.
So
they're not commercial.
But
they're not
commercial. they white-hopped it and co-opted it so much that they twisted their little Jew-ease around on it, and the weasel talk that they use, and you're like, you're now a driver. No, I'm a passenger. I'm a traveler. I can travel without a license to go somewhere. No, we need your papers now. It's like, I don't have papers.
And she was also talking about opting out of the system completely, and I'm interested in that, and I haven't taken the time to really research all of it. I've done a lot of shows on it, kind of half asleep, but you can opt out of the United States system, the corporate system, completely. Now, I don't know
only if they allow you to.
Well, you can do it. No, you can do it. It's not easy. It's not easy, contrary to popular belief. With the
but it's also if the peace officers and the militarized police allow you to, because you can. I mean, I can physically do all this stuff, but if the guy in blue's pulling you over, doesn't follow the law and follows the statutes and edict,
well, you wouldn't
you're still going to jail.
To me, you wouldn't be pulled over if you opted out. To me, you would disregard all fiat currency. You wouldn't have a driver's license. You wouldn't have a social security card. You wouldn't have a birth certificate. You wouldn't have anything. And how would you live? Old man in a cave? I mean, I don't know. That's what the big question has been on all of these shows that I've asked all of these patriots.
Yeah, I've followed the thing. Driving without a license, you get a new license plate that says you're.
No, that's bullshit. They don't go for that. They stop you as a felon when you put that shit on your.
That's what I said. You start, once you start doing a lot of that stuff and become visible, then you become the nail that sticks up, and they got a big hammer and they're going to hit you with it. Right. Right. And I know for like people laugh at me and they say, "Well, your mother-in-law is not a globalist. She worked for the IRS for like 20 years. Yeah, this woman is a globalist. I know a lot about a lot of things because I lived through them." It's kind of hard not to see the stuff when you're living it every day. And, it's like, no, I know a lot about the IRS. I've talked to the FBI about stuff. I know a lot about it. And then it's all what they allow you to do because. Right.
I know once you drop out of the IRS's system, you're out if you don't make any money, if you're living below the poverty level and you don't send them any letters or return any letters to them or anything or sign anything. Once you just kind of drop off their radar, you're gone. Now, I don't know at what point they do that, but I do know that they do that for sure, beyond the shadow of a doubt. Once they just drop you off their records. Period. And I guess that's those that live below the poverty level, homeless for so long and struggle for so many years, they just drop out of the system.
You become a blank. Yeah, you kind of just fall out of the system and you become null and void. And there you have it, man.
Until you win the lottery.
Yeah. Until something major happens or you do something that all of a sudden you spike back up on their radar. And,
red flag goes up.
Yeah, I try to stay off of their radar as much as possible, but being who I am, my name pops back up, and then they start, "Oh, we remember him, let's go after him again." So I try to stay off their radar as much as possible while doing as much damage as I can.
Oh, hell yeah, you don't want to be on their radar.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn. I knew a friend of mine was on their radar for a while. Finally got off their radar.
You get you get a new phone and they call you on it. We have this number too. It's like, oh, okay. Let me hide.
Yeah, I know.
I'm hiding on the beach and they will come and turn over every grain of sand to find you. Yeah. Like I said, familiar with it.
Very powerful organization, the Internal Revenue Service. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You already know that. They're very powerful.
Yeah. No, I tell people this stuff because I lived through a lot of it. I've dealt with, and you don't know, I've dealt with it. I know it. I don't know it. I lived through it. There's a big difference between knowing and actually being in the thing and, yeah.
Child support is another racket.
Which one?
Child support is another big racket.
Yeah.
It's a collection agency, basically. They try to scare you into paying child support.
Yep. And they can go, "Oh, well, you haven't paid your child support, so now we can pull your license." It's like, well, totally unrelated, but guess what?
Yeah.
Oh, and we can affect your job, and we can affect your bank account, and we can, they did away with debtor's prison, and well, they didn't do away with it. They just put a new name on it, and, it's now the norm. So, fucking ridiculous anymore.
most everybody thinks that child support has to do with law enforcement, and it does not have anything at all to do with law enforcement. Nothing whatsoever to do with law enforcement.
No.
It's just one giant collection agency is all it is. And I know different states handle it in different ways. And like you said, some states take your driver's license away, which I think should be illegal.
Yeah. And then they harass you and hound you, and that's the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Send you letter after letter after letter.
Yeah. You could be on the street and the mailman will hand you, homeless, and he hands you the letter. Yeah, it's like they find you no matter where, and to harass and hound you.
Did you go through all that?
I didn't have to. I don't. No, I kept my son and they didn't get my son, and didn't have all that fun stuff. I had the other way of it, where they harassed you daily and kept you under lock and key and house arrest, basically, until the bitch moved. And then it was like all of a sudden, the day she moved, it was like, oh, what's your problem? Why are we watching you? And it's like, yeah, why are you watching me? Because of fucking fake bullshit. And then, oh, we're so sorry. Goodbye. And it disappeared. And you're like, wait a minute. I just started fighting,
Yeah.
I just started fighting you guys.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't go through that because they had nothing on me and it was all trumped up. But what they did because of it being trumped up, and what they did because of their knowledge at first, where they broke the law. Once you have them breaking the law, they tend to leave you the fuck alone real quick. And they go into hiding, and then it's like, well, I got all this evidence, let me produce it,
Yeah.
And you never get because the interviewer was a pedophile and went to jail. They put him under the Alford plea or whatever they took, and all the records got sealed and disappeared. So I can't ever get them anymore. It's like, wait a minute, that's against the Freedom of Information Act. That's against what you told me. That's the way it is, sir. It doesn't matter what we told you. It doesn't matter what the law is. It matters what we do and what you get. And I ain't getting it, and they ain't giving it. So I've been that way for since they did it in 2006. So you notice how
all of the attention has gone off of Russia now onto North Korea?
Yep. Brilliant move and brilliant posturing by Trump on that.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, oh my God, he's attacking Syria. Oh, let's down him on that. Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, you fools. You attacked me over this. You think you have the right optics on it. And he's sitting over there in the other bunker going, ha, 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 guess what? It's not what you're thinking over here, because what you're attacking me for isn't what happened. And I told people last week we're not going to World War III over this. And then look at what happened. China goes after North Korea. It was a brilliant strategist move. And people, we got to down Trump. And it's like, no, wait a minute. The stuff he does at the front isn't what is coming out at the back end of these things.
Right.
He does something and everybody blows up over the optics and then they go, well, wait a minute, we blew up over it. Well, what happened? No, it wasn't what you were attacking. He sends up a fake balloon, a false flag, and he produces something else. I'm not calling him, the best end all. I like Trump. I don't really support him because I don't vote. I don't get into the whole bullshit. But I like him. And, he reminds me a lot of Reagan, and I served under Reagan in the Army. And I didn't really support Reagan either, but I liked Reagan. And then he went sideways, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I can see a lot of good that Trump is doing, but what is it bringing in on the tail end? Because he like we've talked about, he does away with the TPP, well, what are they bringing in next? Because I know the agenda. And I'm trying to figure out how does he fit in with their agenda, and he doesn't fit in with the agenda, and that's why everybody hates him. And he does a lot of stuff, but then on the other hand, you look and you say, you know, what's going on under the table next, and what are they going to bring in? Because the government is not there for us. It never has been. It's there to rule over us. So what are they bringing in? And I'm not going to praise and kiss his ass and, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then he sneaks in something even more draconian that was in there than what was in there. And then we're stuck with this even worse scenario. So I'm looking at the whole thing, and it's like I can't figure out the end game, but some of the pieces that are moving, I accept because I want them gone. So
I think Hillary was just too damn dirty to put in. I think they went ahead and appointed Trump.
She was too corrupt.
Trump.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Hillary,
think even
they couldn't sell.
Even for the New World Order, she was too corrupt. She would have been in court. She would have been in court more than she would have been in office, and I think they knew that.
But she would have given that war that they wanted. But there, you know, I know the cabal and the optics with Hillary was just all wrong. It was the right move, but the wrong person. You know,
there was too much.
Somebody else.
Too much. The news media was going to dig up on her. The alt-right and the alt-left was going to dig up on her.
I mean, shit, you could dig shit back up to Nixon on that bitch. So And people, you don't know Hillary. You don't. It's like, man, she's been around since Nixon.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ.
She was a young intern. Young intern, way back there. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got fired for lying back then. So
twice.
It hasn't changed since. You know. You don't know Hillary. It's like, what don't we know about her?
Right.
If you really study history and you get down to it, you know, the problem is I have a memory, and I can look things up and find out what I need. That's my problem.
I'm surprised they haven't come out with more on the Clinton Foundation and Haiti situation. I'm just waiting to hear what's going to happen with that. Yeah, well, they're hiding it pretty good, but there's a lot of dirt there. A lot of dirt with Bill Clinton going to Orgy Island 27 times without the Secret Service. Hillary visiting over there 3 to 5, 6, 8 times without the Secret Service. I'm just waiting for that to come out, man. That's going to be there. And man, they're capping this stuff up. There's some powerful people fronting her. Still to this day, fronting her.
I don't think we're going to know the whole truth until after she's dead. I mean,
you're probably right.
They've covered up stuff so much because they've got to, because she can implicate most, like 90% of the government. So of course they're going to, She has enough to burn them, and they have enough to burn her. But if they do that, they burn the whole house of cards down. So, she's one of the main pillars in that house of cards. So, of course, they're not going to. I mean, I see the optics on it, and I know, the history of a lot of stuff, and it's like they're not going to burn her. They're waiting for her to die, and she ain't dying yet. So it's a standstill.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones. That's one of the ones we won't find out. Even after she dies, you're not going to find out the full extent of it. So,
I think Trump
I would love that power.
I think Trump just kind of got lucky. He was in the right place at the right time, and I think they appointed him. They appointed him because of that. He was in the right place at the right time. We didn't have anybody else really that would have fit the bill. And they thought they could control him once he got in. They thought, we can control this guy because we're powerful. We're the cabal. We can control him. And to some degree,
the only way they're going to control, they are doing what they can, but I almost see him getting assassinated. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's going to be the only, that's going to be the only way that they're going to remove him. I see him going 8 years. I mean, honestly. And it might be good for us. It might be bad for us. I don't know right now because, it's only been, less than 100 days. So,
Yeah.
You can't really go. Everybody goes, oh, well, he has none of his people in power in place yet. They won't let him put people in. And then we're going, well, why hasn't there been any change? Well, because the man's company isn't set up. You won't let him set it the fuck up, because if he sets it the fuck up, it's going to upturn the apple cart. Yeah. And they don't want that. So they're doing everything they can. And I commend him. He's doing a brilliant job with what he's got. And
yeah, he is.
I said that we needed Trump in there because we needed a CEO, not a president. And he's a CEO. And, it's a new dynamic that people aren't catching on. The best way I can describe it is go read Cyberpunk and Shadowrun. They're role-playing games, but if you read the history that they go through, it's almost exactly what's happening now. The corporations are taking over, and we're going from this, what do I call it? We're a democracy, but we're going from a democracy into a corporocratic technocracy. Technocracy, yeah. We're heading into a corporocratic technocracy, and where corporations own everything, and corporations are the new movement. And I saw that coming in the 80s, and I told people, and we're seeing it now. I mean,
of course.
And people, it's like, no, that corporations own everything. It's a corptocracy. Where, the United States LLC. And I'm not a citizen. Yeah. And they control the world, and it's going to be the hackers against the corporations soon.
That's right. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be.
Real and I'm on the hackers' side.
Yeah.
I strongly are on the hackers' side on that one, man. So if you're going to label me, I'm a shadow runner. That's the way it is. I'm not a corporate crat. I'm a shadow runner. So
shadow runner. I like that word. Shadow runner.
But look up the games Shadowrun and Cyberpunk, because they're coming out with. Elon Musk is talking about wetware. I mean, I know about that in the 80s and 90s, and people are, it's like, no, it's. The things that were science fiction in the 80s are antiquated now because they've already done it, and we're moving on to the next phase. Yeah. And people are look at 2045 initiative, and part of the Agenda 21, 2045. It's like, God damn, they're taking all these sci-fi role-playing games and they become real. And,
of course.
And people are, ha, 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 you, ha, 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 ha. And then later on, wait a minute, it wasn't so funny. It's like, no, it's not funny. It's not funny what they're doing to us, and you're a dumbed down, useful idiot that pushes the thing in, and then how the hell did this happen? You let it. We're only getting what we allow to happen.
Well, there's not much we can do about any of it. People aren't involved.
So I'm enjoying the ride. And I've got all this information.
That's the way I look at it.
Coming.
That's the way I look at it. I'm enjoying the ride. I've got all this information, and that's about all there is to it. I mean, I stopped getting on that guru wagon, that hoorah wagon. I got off that hoorah wagon a long time ago, trying to get people on board. That's why I said on my Facebook page the 99% is dead. They've been dead for a long time. They don't exist anymore, period. And if they do, there's not enough of them to make any difference whatsoever in which way we're headed. So,
Yeah, I'm just here trying to I guess persuade what I can out of the future to become, preserve what I can. And,
I'm just here to observe now. Observe. I'm a watcher. I'm just a watcher. That's all I am.
I stepped out of the role of watcher, and I'm trying to influence it, but I'm technically a watcher because you get stuck. One person isn't going to change the tide of time. I'm sorry, no matter what you do. No. You might influence it a little bit, but what's happening and what's going on is structured to go on. But I'm changing what I can, and I have seen some results of what's coming about, of what I've done. So I'm not
really.
Well, a lot of the movement is, look at the information that's out there. A lot of that stuff wouldn't have been out there if people like me and you hadn't put it out there and kept it out there.
That's true.
So yeah, we are influenced. We can down ourselves and feel down and everything, but then you got to look at the other. Step out on the edge of that coin and look at it, because there's three sides to every coin. And you got to step out on the rim sometimes and get away from the problem and go, look, okay, I might not have changed the future, but what did I do to influence the future? And looking at it that way, yeah, there is a lot of influence out there that I've done, that you've done, that we're doing, that wouldn't be out there and needs to be out there. And because we did it, it's out there. So, and in the course of history, it's going to come down. 100 years from now, they're going to look back and go, well, wait a minute, it was this person, it was that person, it was that person that did something that stood up. And we might not feel big now, but in the future, who knows, we might change the world in the future. And, I'm doing what I can now. It doesn't matter if what happens, that's what I'm doing. So
most of the posts I put out are choice prime rib posts now. They're getting better and better and better and better and better. If you'll look at my post history, it's stuff that we could affect. Stuff.
Yeah, I'm affecting what I can affect, and what I can affect, I hope I have a little bit of influence on it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. I got to look at it that way, because if I look at it where I'm not doing anything, I'm going to give up and just stop.
Well, yeah, me too. Me too.
If I give up and stop, I have this conversation with myself constantly. It's like, if I give up and stop, all my momentum is gone, and I'll never get it back.
No, never get it back.
I am doing something. People are paying attention, even if it's just a few people. That's, like I said, even just for those few people, I will still keep going and doing what I do, because I can do it. People go, well, you need to get this, you need to get that. Yeah, if I had the money, and if I had the currency, and if I had the income, I would be doing more. I can do what I can do right now with nothing and still do it at the level I'm doing it at. I can go to infinity the way I'm doing it now and not be affected, because we're going to take this away from you. Okay, I can still do what I'm doing.
Right.
And you're not taking anything from me, because you can't take nothing from nothing. And at that point, I've won, because I can do it for infinity. Now, would I like more money? Would I like more influence? Yes, I would love to have people send me money so I can go to the next level, get bigger, do all this stuff. I would love it. It ain't coming in. I'm not going to sit here and boo-hoo and cry about it, because I can still do what I'm doing and still keep going. You can say, okay, nobody's giving you any money anymore. That's okay. I'm still doing what I'm doing, and it's still getting the word out there. And people got to learn that. Do what you can, and do what little bit you can. And it's only a little bit. If everybody did a little bit, the problem would be gone. I mean, you don't need to be Superman and save the world. You can clean up your porch, and if everybody cleaned up their porch, the problem would go away.
Did you know that you have germs on your body that battle for territory, and they get really pissed off if another germ comes into their territory, like the germs on the hand to the germs on the nose don't get along at all? And if you scratch your nose with your fingernail, those germs get on your nose and make it itch like hell, because there's a massive battle going on from hell? Not very many people know that.
Well, you never really touch anything anyway because
certain germs hold different positions on your body, and they guard those positions with their life. They die for those positions.
Yeah, and then they're trying to fuck with all that and with these GMOs and we discovered that we could do this. Yeah, well, what does that cause down the road with these other things? Well,
right.
We don't care. We don't care. And then, we got these new diseases. Where are these new diseases coming from? Well, you're jacking with fucking everything. You know?
Yeah.
You're making more shit by fucking around with the shit that you're not supposed to fuck around with.
Genetically modified organisms. Yeah.
I mean, they have, some of them have their place and some are good, but that doesn't make the majority of them good. So.
No, they have increased rice and bean yields around the world, and they've saved a lot of starving populations, and they're doing a lot of great agriculture around the world, but then they've got the Frankenstein side, which is not good for us at all and not good for the children at all, and they're untested theories, just like the vaccination thing is still untested. Well, it's tested. It's just they're not letting the results out fully. So a lot of corporate secrets there again. It's all about corporate secrets. It's all about hidden agendas. It's all about backdoor deals. It's all about the dark state. And, as long as we have the haves and the have-nots, we'll have this problem. And we'll still be seeing this problem into the future. And what we're not privy to, we're not going to learn. And that's just the way it is. That's why we have investigative journalists. That's why we have investigative reporters. That's why we have researchers and whistleblowers. And that's what makes the world interesting, especially with whistleblowers. That's a brand new term, by the way. Really, it's a brand new term, whistleblower. But that's what makes the world interesting is when people come out and tell the secrets of the dark state.
Yep. Well, that's what I've been trying to do since '87 is make people aware, get it out there, and I'm glad it's me because I'm kind of thick-skinned and have been through a lot, and people because somebody wasn't like me, like my ex-co-host they'll start on him and he starts whining and crying and all this other stuff, and you're not going to make it into the future that way.
No, you got to be tough.
And then when they thick-skinned and not care what people think. I mean, I say that I care what people think, but I really don't care what people think. I mean,
I do to a degree.
It's a dichotomy. I mean,
I'll listen to constructive criticism if somebody gives me some constructive criticism. I've calmed down a lot on air because of constructive criticism over the last couple of years.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, I think, people, how do you let that happen to you? Why do you put up with it? Because sometimes you need all that ridicule to learn and to grow. You don't grow in periods where there's not conflict. You grow in the periods of conflict.
Right.
And somebody, it's all in your attitude too, because you can go in there and, they're all picking on me. They're doing this and they're doing that. And, poor me, and you're not going to do anything other than sit there and be a prima donna and, cry your eyes out the minute. Somebody didn't like the way I looked. Get over it,
Right.
But there are times where they've attacked me, and I went, okay, let me see what what is ticking them off, what is triggering them. Maybe I can fix it, or maybe I can tweak it to piss them off more. I always go for the pissed off more part. It's like, how many more people can I piss off? Because the more I piss off, the more it gets out there and is conversed about, and the more it opens up that lane of conversation. Because, like the pedophile thing, there are chapters in my life that I won't talk about that are affected by all that. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason I do it. And, I don't have to tell everybody 1,000,000% of everything, but it's like, no, I've had stuff happen and it influenced the way I think, and that's why I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, there is a dichotomy there that, there are things that happen, but I won't talk about them. But then there are other things that I talk about constantly that people go, why do you talk about that evil thing? Because people need to know about it. People need to know it's out there. If we just keep putting it in a closet and locking it up and not paying any attention to it, it doesn't go away. It just grows. And shining the light on it, it shrinks it down and goes, oh, well, it's not such a bad, it's a bad thing that happened, but when you shine the light on it and look at it,
I get 400 to 600 hits on some of my posts, which is pretty good. I think I've been on Facebook for a while. I'm not sure how long I've been on Facebook for, but I've got a lot of friends out there. I've got a lot of people that follow me out there. I've got a lot of fans out there. I've got a lot of people that listen to me. And I've got a lot of people that put up with me. That's the best thing of all. They know me. They know when I'm in a bad mood. They know when I'm in a good mood. They know when I'm just fucking completely off the wall, fucking crazy, and to leave me alone. And that's kind of amazing, I guess, as much as I fucking hate Facebook. I guess it's kind of amazing to have those kinds of friends.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And never a dull day on Facebook. I mean,
never a dull day.
If you really look at it, and and it all comes down to how you feel at the moment too, because there are times where it's like, fuck Redbook, I ain't ever going back on it again.
Yeah, I've had those days.
Fuck this, and then you come back later and you're feeling down, and you post something, and somebody gives you the answer to a question you've been searching for forever. So life, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And that's the most brilliant thing I could say is life. It is what it is. It is what you make it. You can make it a hellhole, or you can take the lemons, add some sugar and water and shit, and make lemonade. So.
Well, I'm ready to get off this thing. I'm going to go lay here and go to sleep. I'm actually laying down with my Madonna headset on, my cordless headset. I can walk all over the place with this thing. I love it. Have you got a cordless headset yet?
No, I've got a cell phone stuck to my ear.
Oh, shit. Man, what a bummer. Psychologically, it just frees you up, man, to have a headset, cordless headset, just frees you up all the way around. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Totally unbelievable. Just frees you up. You can go 27 feet away from your computer with a $70 headset. I forgot what this one's called, but it's the popular one. What is this fucking called? I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before I go to sleep, Glenn Sutphin and I are on Alternative Public Radio International, coming to you live from TalkShoe.com. It's been good to us. I recommended it to a couple of kids last night who I interviewed about the boring subject of protecting children. It's so boring to everyone. I don't know why it's not front page news, but everybody loves cats and dogs and piglets and goats and chickens, but man, when it comes to kids, nobody gives a fuck. I tell you, it just boggles my damn mind. It just boggles my mind. You would think that people would be up in arms about what's going on around the world with kids. You would think people would be coming out of their fucking windows into the yard, naked, running through the streets, screaming. But nobody gives a fuck. And those that say they give a fuck, I don't even believe them anymore. And it's just like, why? I mean, I don't even really give a fuck. it's like, why? What is going on? Is it pharmaceuticals? Is it fluoride? Is it GMOs? Is it chemtrails? Is it all of the above? What the fuck is it that's dumbing us down so damn much where we just don't give a fuck?
We've been conditioned. We've been conditioned. I mean, they've spent decades and decades programming and conditioning us, and it worked. It worked. If this was the 80s, I mean, oh my God, this stuff did happen in the 80s, of course, because it's been going on forever, but it wasn't as prevalent in the public eye. If it was in the public eye in the 80s, we would have done away with it by now.
Yeah.
It would have been gone and done away with by now, and we wouldn't be having a conversation, but you progress 30 years into the future, and, you know, they've had 30 years to condition everybody, and, you know, we're what we get and what we allow to happen to us. I mean, how did that happen? We allowed it. We allowed it to happen. As a society, we allowed it to happen, and we are to blame. But then you go, well, society's to blame, and where is society anymore? Because it all became somebody else's problem. And that's the thing is, they pushed it off onto the next person, Yeah.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody doing anything about it. And
well,
I can push it off to the next person.
There's a lot of pedophiles out there. There's a lot of sexual people out there. There's a lot of perverts out there. There's a lot of, hell, I'm a fucking pervert. There's a lot of weird fucking people out there. And there's a lot of shit going on. And what I just mentioned with the chemtrails and the pharmaceuticals and the fluoride and the toxins and the poisons and the chemicals and all the other shit, you're right, it's dumbed us down to shit and back and just made our hearts cold as fucking ice cubes, and that's just the way it is. And that's why we're on the radio and you're not. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Sutphin and Kiler Davenport, and it is Thursday night, I think. We will be back Sunday night, take a couple of nights off, and be back Sunday night on the Sunday Night Super Show. And I will have my list of questions I found for Sunday Night Super Show. Glenn and I are going to be going over about 75 different subjects and going to go quick, and see what our opinions are on them. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, Glenn, take care. Have a good night, and don't have any more seizures. I'll talk to you on PM, huh?
Okay, Nate. Don't you have any more seizures either.
Well, take care.
Let's decide that we ain't going to have them tonight. So.
We're not going to have them tonight.
We're not going to have them tonight.
You take care. We'll see y'all on Facebook. Bye-bye.
Bye.